Hey guys, welcome back to a special edition of Discount Paranormal. Tim hanging out with Justin.
How's it going, everybody?
All right, man. So we kind of like pulled this video together fast because
Yeah, Tim called me and said, dude, get on. We got stuff to talk about. Like, apparently, big things are happening with UFOs, but
yeah, no, that's absolutely right. So yesterday, Wednesday, the 26th, they had a large UFO hearing in
okay.
Congress yesterday. So it was I think it's Ryan Graves. I keep forgetting the guy's first name. I don't know why I've seen him like a million times, but David Grush, who was a former like a Intel guy, and
Okay.
Commander David Fravor, who was famously known for the Tic Tac UFO encounter
All right. Yeah.
in
So these are
San
like pretty
Diego.
well known
Yeah,
people then.
yeah,
Like
yeah. They're
pretty
like
high up.
yeah,
They're
pretty
not
high up. Like
yeah, they're not like a conspiracy theorist or anything.
no, 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 no. Like Fravor was like legit like a nerdier version of Tom Cruise from Top Gun. You know what I mean?
Fair
The
enough.
guy thinks
Okay.
he's funny, but he's not funny. Kind of like you or I, but it's more like stepdad humor.
Oh
you
yeah.
know, with this guy, he's got big stepdad energy. But like he was like legit like a Top Gun fighter pilot. Like the dude's no joke. Ryan Graves like works in like aeronautics now. I think he might do like he might be more in like commercial airline stuff. And I think he does do some like government programs and stuff like that. And Fravor's been doing government work for a long time. And David Grush is an interesting dude. But let's skip right to it, man, because I want to get right into it. And you've
All
not
right.
heard any of this before.
No, I the first I've even heard about like a hearing was when you called me and told me.
Right.
Like I had no idea any of this was going on.
Yeah, it's nuts, dude. Like it's pretty cool, like the stuff that they're saying. And it's gonna be it's gonna be a thing for you. All
Fair
right.
enough.
All
All
right, here
right,
we
let's
go.
listen to it.
Do you have knowledge or do you have reason to believe that there are programs in the advanced tech space that are unsanctioned?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you say that they're above congressional oversight, what do you mean?
Uh, Complicated question. So there's, some, I would call it abuse here. So congressional oversight of conventional special access programs. So I'll use Title 10, so DOD as an example, right? So 10 U.S. Code Section 119 discusses congressional oversight of SAPs, discusses the DepSecDef's ability to waive congressional reporting. However, the Gang of Eight is at least supposed to be notified if a waived or waive bigoted unacknowledged SAP is created, and that's public law.
Well, so that how does, I mean, I don't want to cut you off, but
Yeah.
how does a program like that get funded?
I will give you generalities. I can get very specific in a closed session, but misappropriation of funds and
Does that mean that,
self-fund.
does that mean that there is money in the budget that is said to go to a program, but it doesn't, and it goes to something else?
Yes, I have specific knowledge of it.
So that's just part of it.
Yeah, dude. No, break down that video real quick. So he's going on the record. We do 100% have, I don't know, black ops or black budget kind of things, agencies.
Yes.
He's saying that government agencies are just waiving the fact that they have to report to Congress. So they're just not reporting what they're
Yeah.
doing, what they're finding.
Basically. And they're doing what they're doing too is essentially they're saying like they lie about the money that they need
Yeah,
for like
which
certain
I mean,
projects.
um that's the one part, dude, that didn't really surprise me because that's kind of like if you're even into conspiracies at all,
Yeah.
100%, dude, like that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's documented that like the CIA used to run coke to fund their shit,
like the
like cocaine.
like the drug. Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought you
not
meant
like the
the
drink.
soda. I thought you meant like the soda.
Yeah, yeah. In case anyone didn't know, Coca-Cola, the company, is
Oh.
actually a CIA front.
Yeah,
It just went out of control. Like it wasn't meant to be.
You had me thrown for a loop on that one. Yeah.
No, that was the only part that didn't like really surprise me. The other part with just waiving congressional, like how do you say, congressional
Oversight.
reporting.
Yeah. Yeah, reporting. Yeah.
They're just going, man, y'all don't need to know.
Right.
Like even when the black ops the black budget kind of stuff, I assume they still reported to like the higher ups but apparently they're just rogue.
Well, I think there's like some loopholes in there where they can like certain agencies can borrow from budgets of other agencies
Yeah.
without having to tell them what it's for. They just do it.
Yeah, because it seemed like even with that dude, that was only what, like a 40-second little clip.
Yeah.
A lot of information got put out in 40 seconds.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
yeah.
he wasn't even talking about borrowing money. He was talking about, like, in my mind, that's like
It's
the Social
stealing.
Security budget. That's the WIC or the EBT kind of budgets.
Right.
And they're just siphoning off money
Mm-hmm.
off and throwing them into these black ops things,
Yep.
man. It's-
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, they're doing whatever they want whenever they want.
And there's
to-
no oversight at all
No,
what they're doing.
none. There's none. And so let's do another one. So this chick's from South Carolina, I think. She's a congresswoman, I guess. And she kind of like this is, mind you, this is just like a clip of it, but she's not happy about a lot of the stuff that's going on. So let's get into what she's about to do too, because like I said, she's not super happy. I mean, she's more like, I think she's trying to get to the bottom of it. Like I will say, like the questions that these folks are asking, because there's like a ton of them that do.
Yeah.
It's a 2.5 hour long hearing that they did, but each one of them is asking questions about like, tell me about corporations that are doing this. Tell me about government agencies that are doing this. Like, I want to know. I'm going to subpoena these people. Like, we're going to get answers, because not only are they potentially hiding alien technology in bodies, but they're also like stealing and lying to us about it.
Yeah.
You know
Like
what
the
I mean?
money that we allotted for project whatever
Yeah.
is being stolen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly right. So here's Miss.
Yeah, I could see like the good politicians being pissed about that. Cause at least a few of these guys in the courtroom right now are part of it.
Yep. Exactly.
100%, but they gotta act.
Craft stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, Biologics came with some of these recoveries.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
Mr. Gray,
So,
again,
bro,
very short clip, and this is on the record
Mm.
stating, yes, we do have alien crafts. Yes, we do have bodies. He's not calling them
Right.
bodies. He's calling them what? Biological.
biologics. Yeah.
Biologics. For lack of a better word, yeah, we got some alien bodies hidden in a fucking lab somewhere.
Right. So let me stop you real quick, because I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because of course I did. And
I
dude, I was in it, dude. Like I was balls deep in it, dude. Like I
yeah,
was
like
for
no
real.
joke. He literally called. I was at work. He's like, dude, what are you doing right now?
Yeah.
Like, I'm at work. What are you? I'm at work. All right, call me as soon as you get home.
It's worth quitting your job or losing your job over. Big news, man. But like, if you watch the whole thing, like that dude, like the reason, like we're not gonna play anything from Graves or Fravor, because if you want to hear about everything they have to say, they both did like 3-hour episodes on Rogan, so you can go listen to the whole thing if you want to.
Yeah, that's
but
fair
David
enough.
Grush is new. Like he only came out like a couple months ago as a whistleblower, and he's already like infamous. You know what I mean, in the UFO field, because he's like not the highest ranking guy, but he's like the dude that was like behind the curtain kind of guy, not like a general or a fighter pilot. You know what I mean?
But yeah, okay, I know
he
what
was
you
like
mean.
secret dude. You know what I mean? That was
Yeah, he was the guy who
intelligence
didn't
operation.
have a rank or a title kind of thing.
Well, I think he was in the military before, because most of those
Yeah.
guys are former military.
Yeah, but I was talking about like when he was doing the alien stuff.
Right.
He
was
wouldn't have
working
been like,
for-
oh yeah, I work with the FBI. Like there was his own.
Yeah, I think it was ATIP, I think was one of them, ASAP. He was working, I don't know if he was in either one of those. There was so much going on in that hearing. I'd have to like look into the guy. But yeah, he was up there, man. Like he knew a lot of stuff. So here's a little bit more from it.
Chris, finally, do you believe that our government is in possession of UAPs?
Absolutely, based on interviewing over 40 witnesses over 4 years.
And where?
I know the exact locations, and those locations were provided to the Inspector General and some of which to the intelligence committees. I actually had the people with the firsthand knowledge provide a protected disclosure to the Inspector General.
Thank you. And Mr. Chairman, I would just say that I think that these questions are important questions, and I look forward to being involved in the process to get those answered.
So if you notice too, in the background behind David Grush is a very uncomfortable looking George Knapp.
I did not notice that because I
He's
was
all like he's all like squunched together. I mean, like his arms, like 'cause the guy next to him's got like really broad shoulders. He can't like fit in between the two guys. You know what I mean?
but still do that like if this dude's 100% truthful here,
Mhm.
he's literally going, I could tell you where the bodies are.
Yep.
And I could tell you what agencies are doing this.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I know exactly where the
The ships
UFOs are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that's insane. Like, of course, the only problem is that you know full well we'll never see.
I don't know, man. Like this is starting to get like it to a big deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I
Like, it's
imagine
starting
it
to get
is,
to be
dude.
a
Like,
big
even what
deal.
I've seen so far, like, I'm definitely gonna have to go check out. It might take me a couple days to watch 2 hours of a hearing, but
Well, you don't really need to watch it. It's more of an audio thing because it's just
Oh, fair
them
enough.
on a podium talking to these guys at a giant desk.
I kind of like looking at their faces though, dude, because you could tell like what their
Dude.
emotions are while they're talking.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't know what's going on in Congress, but there's 3 super attractive congressmen women at this thing asking questions. Like they're very attractive women. I'm like, what is happening? I just assumed it was all gonna be like 50, 60-year-old men. I'm
No, like so far they've all been fairly young.
Yeah, yeah. The one of them that's there too. I don't know. I can't remember if I grabbed a clip of it or not. But it's that one congresswoman from New York. She's like Ortiz something.
Oh,
Yeah, but she's also super attractive. She might be
fucking
nuts.
photogenically insane, but yes.
Yeah, yeah, photogenically insane. That's
Yeah, it
only-
means
you're
if you
only
see a
crazy in
picture-
pictures. Yeah,
No,
you're
if
only-
you see a picture of him, you could be like, that motherfucker's insane.
Right. Well, she's pretty hardcore about it too. Like she took it very seriously, dude. Like all these people took it very seriously. There's one congressman though wearing a bandana, which I don't know what's happening there.
That's the congressman from Texas, man.
He's being too cool. Like, you know what I mean, like what's
Yeah, I'm
his,
trying not to be like super obvious and
What's his
like,
angle?
stand out.
you know what I mean? Like I don't get what's happening. You know what I mean? And it's like one of those like cholo ones. You know what I mean? Where it's like
Yeah.
kind of paisley looking. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't really get I don't understand what is happening at all with this guy. But like I said, they all take it super, super seriously. And we're gonna play. It's not this one, but one of these videos. You're gonna see exactly how seriously one of these guys takes it. One of the congressmen. It's pretty interesting. Here's another clip from it.
At one point you had said that there has been harmful activity or aggressive activity. Has any of the activity been aggressive, been hostile in your reports?
I know of multiple colleagues of mine that got physically injured. And the activity, and I got
By UAPs or by people within the federal government?
both.
Okay, so there has been activity by alien or non-human technology and or beings that has caused harm to humans.
I can't get into the specifics in an open environment, but at least the activity that I personally witnessed, and I have to be very careful here because they tell you never to acknowledge tradecraft, right? So what I personally witnessed myself and my wife was very disturbing.
Okay.
So there you go.
Yeah,
That's a big one.
I did see the dude you were talking about, by the way.
Yeah, well, and the guy in the green shirt is Jeremy Corbell, the guy that does all the UFO documentaries, like the Bob Lazar Area 51 and UFOs. That was on
Oh,
Netflix.
okay.
He does all those things, and those two have a podcast of their own called Weaponized. It's okay. Jeremy Corbell, I love his documentaries. I don't want to hear him talk. He's like a 55-year-old like dude trying to be like super hip, sounding.
Oh
And,
yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's like disingenuous. It just doesn't sit well with me. It doesn't resonate with me specifically. You know what I mean? George Knapp is old school, and I love George Knapp. You know what I mean? Like he's hosted Coast to Coast a few times. He's the one that broke the Bob Lazar story in Nevada.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's big time, dude. Like
But
that
dude,
dude went
even
up to
like-
Russia and like talked to like dudes in Russia like during the Soviet Union. Like it was like legit, dude. That's like dangerous.
Dude, I mean, this dude again. To get back to the clip here for a second.
Yeah.
Like he's even saying, confirming. I mean, we all knew this. If anyone is into aliens,
Mhm.
we already did an episode like that called The Man in Black,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
We have, we'll just call them Americans, right?
Mm.
That's, I doubt very highly there's Russians in there, but
They are American.
yeah, being attacked not only by, essentially their own countrymen, also aliens.
Yeah.
On top of that,
Well, what he was
and he
getting
was
at-
not willing to say what happened to them. So,
well, he is. So
well,
like-
not in public though. Like everything's gonna be behind closed doors with
right. They
no
keep calling
cameras
it
or
they call it a like he says that a lot, like a lot. Like all the stuff you really want to hear, he can't say. Because I think he's still got NDAs and he's in a like whistleblower investigation.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Where they're like they have certain protections now for whistleblowers from the government saying that you can't get like your job and your career can't be put in jeopardy. Like you're not, it's illegal to threaten you with physical harm, like any repercussions whatsoever. Are
Yeah,
supposed to
but
be completely
that's only
prohibited.
that's only skin deep.
And it's also relatively new.
Yeah,
That law, I think, it's like less than a year old. You know what I mean? It's relatively new still.
I didn't even know they had like a whistleblower protection law.
They do, because if you didn't, nobody would ever say anything about anything ever.
Yeah, because
Because they're afraid of this, what the guy
Yeah.
said. Like people getting legitimately hurt and killed. You know what I mean? Because one of the guys even asked him, like, have people been murdered for this? He's like, I can't say that out loud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They keep calling it a skiff, which I think means, and I'm just guessing here, but based off the context of how they're saying it, that essentially like a skiff is the congressman that he's going to talk to have to get permission to hear the things he has to say, because the things he has to say have certain levels of classification, which is
Yeah.
why he's
so they
saying-
don't want just anybody.
Right. Not every congressman has the same level of classification where you
Yeah.
can hear certain information. You know what I mean? So they have to get cleared for that first. And I think they got denied the initial one. And they were pissed. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
were mad, dude. They're like, what are you talking about? Like, this is
It's like, wait a minute, we're
ridiculous.
congressmen. We're the ones supposed to be.
Yeah. Like, because the dude,
We should know what's going on.
because the dude, like, while he's coming out, he's still really scared for him and probably his family.
Yeah.
This is like real stuff, dude. This isn't conspiracy theory stuff anymore.
No,
not in
I
that
mean, like,
realm
dude, you
anymore.
have this dude.
It's real life.
He's
now.
coming out saying there are the black ops places. We do have aliens. We have the crafts. People been hurt.
Yeah.
He's all but confirming that people are getting murdered. He's just not saying it.
He can't say it. Yeah.
He could say it, but he can't say it. I mean,
Right. He
the
tiptoes a lot.
simple denial of I can't say that out loud
Right.
is all you need to know. Yeah, people are getting
Right. Because
getting
that's
taken
why
out.
I didn't grab a bunch of the clips from like Faber and Graves, because like they're fighter pilots. All they're there to do is report on stuff that they saw
Mhm.
in action. You know what I mean? Like this guy has the stuff you really want to hear. Like while their stories are awesome, and they are, and they're highly credible witnesses, and they are. You know what I mean? Like these dudes got like master degrees in physics and shit, dude. Like you know what I mean? Like some like weird like aeronautical, you know what I mean, degrees. And I was trying to say something and sound smart, but I couldn't remember what it was. Whatever the space engineering is. You know what I mean?
Aerospace technology or
Something like that.
right?
Yes. But these dudes are legit, man. You know what I mean? Like they're the most credible eyewitnesses you pretty much could ever have. You know what I mean? Because the dude's like, no, we like what they did was they like jammed our radars and stuff like that, which is like not, it can be considered an act of war. like they don't always take it that way. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of it's like situational. Like if they felt like they were in danger, they
Well, yeah,
can
I mean,
be
if it was
considered an
like
act of war.
they jammed our radar and then fell in behind us, and
Right, which they never did. Like
yeah,
Fravor very clear about that. He's like, I never felt in danger. You know
but I
what I
also
mean?
felt like they didn't want me being able to follow them.
Right. He's like, also though, like even if I was in danger, there was nothing I could have done about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because he's like,
I
'cause
mean,
one
their
of the guys
technology
asked the
is
question.
vastly superior.
Yeah, exactly right. That's actually kind of what he said. He's like, because the guy's like, well, what if if it felt hostile, like could you have like locked on and attacked it and stuff like that? He's like, absolutely not. He's like, I mean, I could have shot something at it. He's like, but when you have an object that goes from 80,000 miles above, or he said it was 2 to 3 feet or something like that above the water, with something like turning underneath of it, like another object under the water, and then it like tilted up and like looked at him, and then like shot up to like 80,000 feet in like 2 seconds. You know
Yeah,
what I
there's
mean?
no
The guy's
way
like,
you're.
dude, first of all, that would liquefy a human for the G forces alone. Like you could not take it. Like you
Yeah.
can't take it. You know what I mean? And that they're like the Ryan Graves came out and said that one of them was sitting in what's like when you're that high up, like winds are stupid fast. You know what I mean? Like comparative to the ground, He's like it was sitting stationary in category 4 hurricane winds. Stationary. Like
Yeah,
it
which
wasn't
means it
affecting it at
has
all.
crazy propulsion like power to it.
Right. He goes, it was going 0 Mach, which means it wasn't moving. No,
Yeah.
like 0 miles an hour.
Yeah, it wasn't
Stuck
swaying
in
nothing.
space.
Like
You know
this.
what I mean? It's nuts. Like just stuck there. Like in instantaneous acceleration. He's like to like it'll go from 0 Mach to 1.2 or 1.3 Mach in like a second or 2 seconds. He's
just
like, dude,
boom.
it's not supposed to be possible. He's like, just like with physics, it's not possible. He's like, so they're doing something to get around that. He's like, and if it is an adversary that we have, an enemy of some kind, he's like, we're in deep trouble. Like, unless there's something that we have that we don't know about, you know what I mean? Like super, super high tech stuff. Because like Fravor, if anybody's gonna fly something like that, it would be a guy like him.
Yeah.
Like highly decorated, squadron commander, Top Gun instructor, the best pilot, one of the best pilots in the world, in the whole entire world. And that they're not like he doesn't know about it. Like, why wouldn't they pick him to do it? You know what I mean? He seems like a
Yeah.
logical
Yeah. Like it
choice.
seems pretty logical.
Right. And he's like
Which
a
means
career
to me,
military
dude,
guy.
what that means, like with all this coming out, like especially with that dude talking, like the fighter pilot, what was his name again?
Ryan Graves is one of them, and Fravor's the one that did the Tic Tac though.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, dude, all that means from like his testimony alone is that we're such a non-threat to him.
Yeah.
That they could, yeah, they have the power to take us out, but why bother?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like you see an ant walking across the street, you don't kill it.
I mean, you could choose to.
Yeah, I mean, you could choose to, but odds are you just look at it and just keep going about your business.
That's
Like
what-
it doesn't
that's what I
even
think
process.
I mean, that's what they could do too. They could either choose to annihilate you, or
Yeah.
they could choose not to, because they have the ability to do either.
Yeah,
at will.
that's what I'm saying. Like
At will.
sometimes, yeah, you choose to kill the ant, right?
Right.
But then, how many ants have you looked at outside in your lifetime and just walked on by? You don't even remember it.
Yeah. You don't even notice them most times.
No, like you see them going, and you just go about your business. Like they're not even there.
Well, that David Grush guy even gets into like interdimensional options too, like because he uses that term biologics and non-human intelligence. He's like, because I don't really know for sure like where they're from. All I know is that they're not from Earth, or
Yeah,
at least Earth as we know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. they're
He's
not
like-
from our Earth.
They're not human.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? That's basically what he's saying. He's like, they're not human. And the technology is not human. He's like, as far as any of the rest of it, I don't know. Because I think they even asked him, it might be in one of these clips I'm about to play, where they ask him, like, have you seen the bodies? He's like, I've never seen the bodies. He's like, but I've seen the ships. Like, he's very transparent about that. Like, he could have easily lied and said, yeah, I saw those too.
yeah. The only problem is though, they don't. If you lie about, yeah, I've seen the bodies, and they find out you lied about seeing the bodies.
Right.
Now you have the problem of everything you're saying
Mm.
is subject to criticism.
Well, now you can't believe a word you said.
Yeah.
Everything that you just did is
Now you're
is
just a
throwing the
liar.
trash.
And yeah,
Right.
they're just gonna sweep it under the rug and move on with their life.
Right. Like my point being though, like if you wanted it to be as sensational as possible, like if that was his goal,
Yeah,
You would
yeah.
say
You'd be
yes,
like,
then.
yeah, I ran into them. I've seen dead ones. I've seen live ones. I've been
Yeah.
in firefights against them.
yeah,
And with
or bleeping and shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I've seen the aliens. You know what I mean? But let's get back into another clip, man, because this is the guy that he's part of like the defense part of Congress. You know what I mean? Where I think he does like the budgeting and stuff like that for defense, and he's just very matter of fact about yes or no questions, like things like that. You'll see what I'm talking about.
When we think about traditional adversaries and both us towards them and them towards us, we probe their capabilities. We look for weaknesses, and we collect that data, that reconnaissance for in the event we need it in the future. For each of you, yes or no question, based off of your own experience or the data that you've been privy to, is there any indication that these UAPs could be essentially collecting reconnaissance information? Mr. Graves?
Yes.
Mr. Grush?
Fair assessment, yeah.
Mr. Fravor?
Very possible.
Again, in the national security vein, is it possible that these UAPs would be probing our capabilities? Yes or no, Mr. Graves?
Yes.
Grush?
Yes,
Fravor?
Definitely.
Is it possible that these UAPs are testing for vulnerabilities in our current systems?
Yes.
yes, possible.
Do you feel, based off of your experience and the information that you've been privy to, that these UAPs provide an existential threat to the national security of the United States? Mr. Graves?
Potentially.
Yes, sir, potentially.
Same answer, potentially.
I would say
Fravor?
definitely, potentially.
Mr. Graves and Fravor, in the event that your encounters had become hostile, would you have had the capability to defend yourself, your crew, your aircraft?
Absolutely not.
Sir?
No.
Is based off of the information that you've been privy to, is there any indication that these UAPs are interested in our nuclear technology and capabilities?
Yes.
By external observation, sure, that could be a fair assessment, yeah.
Yes.
Is there any indication that the Department of Energy is involved in UAP data collection and housing?
I don't have an answer.
I can't confirm or deny that in a public setting.
And
No.
could you do it in a secure setting?
Yes,
Mr. Fravor?
no, I don't know.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
That's the
I
last-
mean,
that's the
that's
last
exactly
clip,
what we
but-
were just. That's exactly what we were just talking about.
yeah,
They could do whatever the hell they want, and we cannot stop them.
correct. That's exactly what they were saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, could you have defended yourself? Absolutely not.
No way in
Nope.
hell. I couldn't
I-
have even gotten home.
No.
Like I wouldn't even been able to eject before
Right.
they took me out.
Like these are just like the snippets, you know what I mean, that I personally found most interesting. But to be honest, the entire 2 hours is actually like you wouldn't think because of like the setting where it is
Yeah.
and who's involved that it's riveting. You know, what I mean? You're listening to every question, to every word that every single person says. Like you're listening to every question that the Congress people ask, and you're on the edge of your seat waiting to hear the
Waiting
answer
on the
from
answer.
the people. You know
Dude,
what I
even
mean?
during that, yes and no
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
That's what I want for
Basically.
answers.
Yeah.
And almost every last one of them was exactly how you thought they were going to answer too. It was
Yeah.
like, do they pose a threat? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yes.
Could
Yeah.
you defend yourself? No.
Well, that's what one of the congressmen said after that. You know, what I mean, he's like, so if they're not ours, and
Who's
they're
ours?
not our enemies, we have a serious problem. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
if they're flying with our best machinery, our best weapons, you know what I mean, as far as like F-18s and stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure they got better now, but
I think
I
it's
mean,
the F-22.
yeah, well, I think that's
That's
the
one we have.
Raptor. Yeah,
Yeah, I
the
think
Raptor.
that's the best one we have.
The
right
other
now.
dude, Fravor drove Super Hornets, you know what I mean, which is at the time was like the most advanced fighter on Earth. You know what I mean? And those are the guys that too, like they never saw them before on radar, but then they had their radar upgraded. And Fravor goes into more detail about like what that radar was, like the actual like model number and all that. He's like, but all of a sudden they're there, they're not there, then they're there. And they're seeing them
Yeah.
every time they go up. And he said that because one guy's like, did you ever see it on your radar? He's like, I never saw it on mine. He's like, but the Nimitz and there was another one, I can't remember the other one. There was two fighter they're what are they called? The carriers, attack vessels.
Aircraft carriers.
Right. They both saw it, and I think another place like the ground radar saw it, but they never did within 50 feet of it. You know, I mean, 100 feet, a mile. You know what I mean? Because you're like a mile, you're like a mile. You know, even
It's
like
not that
5
long
miles.
when you're up in an airplane, though.
But now when you're in an airplane, that's like 20/20 vision. You know, what I mean, you can see
Yeah,
everything
I mean,
that's
you
happening.
can. If you've ever been on a plane, a mile is ain't shit.
It's not very high up. You have perfect vision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And plus, I think those fighter pilots have like a semi-transparent like window, so they can see underneath of them too with their naked eye. So it's pretty interesting, man. I definitely recommend watching the whole thing.
Definitely. Now, imagine we're gonna put the. Do we have the link for that?
And you can literally find it anywhere.
Oh, fair enough. Fair
You
enough.
can
You
go to,
just type
like,
in UFO
YouTube,
Congress
Google,
and
yeah,
boom, it'll pop
Google.
up.
It's on like every major news station, CNN, CBS, NBC, you name it. It's there. It's on every newspaper website. It's on YouTube. Like it's everywhere.
I'm surprised I haven't seen it because I've been on my phone a lot, like on Facebook and YouTube, and
Oh,
nothing like that's
I'm
popped
sure
up.
the mass media is not
Yeah,
like
true.
super jazzed about like spreading all of it. You know what
But
I
see,
mean?
I'm part of like on my Facebook page. I have a lot of like paranormal and
Mhm.
alien-esque
I don't get it.
sites, but
This is like with no stretch of the
Dude, this is,
imagination historical.
yeah, it's like groundbreaking,
Yeah.
holy shit kind of stuff, man.
Right. Like I said, like there's even ones where like there was a question one of them asked, like, tell me like who's involved. I want to know what agencies they work for. I want to know what corporations are involved in the back engineering and have the craft themselves. I want to know what that is. And she's like, tell me the specifics. She's like, I can't do that here, but I can do that in private. He's like, I'll give you, he called it cooperative and uncooperative names. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
people who will talk to you willingly and other people who are not going to talk to you willingly.
Yeah,
And you're
people are
gonna
gonna
have to force
lawyer
them to
up, or
do
gonna,
so.
they're gonna hide behind
Right.
generals and all kinds of things.
Right, exactly. So like it's a big deal, man. Like that dude knows a lot of
definitely.
stuff. And if they do get that private meeting with him, like God forbid something happens to him between now and then. And even one of them was like her name was like Miss Luna or something like that, who was also more attractive than a congresswoman should be. She was like, let it be known that like this guy is in fear of his life. Like he's coming here, he's testifying and in fear of his life. I want that to be on record. He's like that this topic is so sensitive that this guy is literally afraid that he's going to be killed. You know what I mean?
And that's a very real fear.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she put it on the record.
Dude,
like,
he's
in Congress.
pissing more than a couple people off with this.
Right. Like, and the thing is that like she wasn't just saying it to, you know, be like sensationalism. Like it's on the record, like the official transcript of that congressional hearing.
Yeah,
Like, it wasn't just like
it's
off the cuff.
stating.
Right.
Well, the
And-
only thing he's got going for him is that he's big right now.
Yeah.
If they take him out, it's going to cause a way bigger like
Dude.
investigation.
you turn him into a martyr at that
Yeah.
point.
You're
said
going to
the same thing in the
have
X-Files
so
about
many.
Mulder.
Yeah, you're going to have so many like Congress people, and then the general public,
Right.
everything demanding answers. Like right now, I would say he's safe at the moment because they can't afford to take him out.
Yeah. He better
Because if
stay
they
in the
take him
public.
out, he becomes everything he said is 100% true.
Right. Because like to kind of wrap it up real quick, man. Like they said the same thing about Mulder. Like, why don't we just kill Mulder? He's like, because if you kill him, you turn one man's quest into a crusade. Because other people will start joining it now.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where he's at. So, all right, guys. Well, we're running out of time, but it's incredible. Go check it out. It's amazing. It's gonna blow your mind.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to go see it like watch the whole thing.
Definitely do. And we'll talk about it again
Yeah.
at length. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. We love you. We'll catch you next time.
See you later.
Bye.